Hello, hello. How are you? It's Deanne here. Happy Tuesday. Today we are going to talk about the liver cleanse. I am so excited. This is a Q&A, so we're going to go over all these questions that I have gotten by email and DM. So if you have any questions, please type them in the chat in the comment section. What you usually have to do is click on allow StreamYard to use your name. Click on that and then you can type in the comments and I'll be able to see who you are and I'll be able to answer your questions as well. But we'll start going through these and then I'll take a look at the questions afterwards. Okay. All right. So I am super excited about the liver cleanse. I do these at least 3 times a year. I've done them for many years and I absolutely love them. I think they're super, super important. And I always change them up a little bit. And we always have a really great group. So they're tons of fun. We have a Facebook group. So you can always talk to people, and I'm posting in there pretty much every day. And we also have 4 Zoom videos for questions and for anything else that you want to talk about throughout the actual cleanse. So the cleanse starts on Monday, February the 7th. So we really need to get you to sign up by next Monday because we need about 4 or 5 days at least for your supplements to reach your house if you're going to use the supplements. So we'll talk a little bit about that later too. Okay. So I want to dig in to the questions. And so let's go ahead and start answering those. And again, if you have anything, you can type it in and I will keep checking to see if there's anything up there. All righty. So question number 1, what's the difference between a detox and a cleanse? So really, those words are interchangeable. You can use detox, you can use cleanse, but some people call a cleanse, it's really more for digestive health and it focuses on food and supplements. So that's what a lot of people call a cleanse. And when they talk about detox, our body naturally detoxes. We have a detoxification system in our body that has phases, and I'll talk about that a little bit later because someone did ask that question. And so when we talk about a detox, we talk about improving the functioning of the natural detoxification process. And that usually includes the liver and the kidneys. So when I say liver detox, or liver cleanse, I am really kind of adding both of those together because this cleanse definitely improves the natural detoxification process. We are including foods that help with phase 1 and phase 2 and supplements as well. And we're really concentrating on the kidneys, the liver, the gallbladder, the digestive system. And we're using clean food as well. So I have combined those two and called it the liver cleanse. All righty. Number 2, what do you mean by toxins? Great question. Toxins are basically, that's a good way is it's a harmful particle that we take in through air, food, water, pesticides, environment, and they stay in the body and they affect the body in a negative way. They can irritate cells, they can cause inflammation, and they can just decrease the actual proper functioning of the body. And so some of the normal symptoms for toxins can be things like brain fog is a really common one, headaches, really, really common, joint pain, fatigue, depression, hair loss, constipation. So those can all be because of toxins. And when we talk about toxins specifically, there's many different groups of toxins. So one are metals. So heavy metals, you probably heard of that. And that really talks about mercury, lead, cadmium, arsenic. Those are kind of the main, but there's many others. But then we also have toxins in plastics. So we have something called BPA or bisphenol A, and that comes in a lot of the cans, drinking cans and food cans. You have something called phthalates that's in vinyl flooring and other things. You have flame retardants. That flame retardants are in lots of different things, carpets and other things. So those can all be problematic for the body. Then you have pollutants. You have pesticides. insecticides. We have glyphosate, which is kind of the one that's found in genetically modified foods. So there's lots of toxins in the world that we come into contact no matter how healthy we try to be. And when they get into the body, they can get stuck in the body. They can get stuck in the cells and the fat in different organs. And then when it gets stuck in there, it affects the functioning of wherever it is. So that's why we want to get them out. So, what happens is yes, we do have this detoxification process, our lymph system that should be getting toxins out on a regular basis. But if those systems aren't working well, then they can't get them out efficiently. And over time, they can build up. So that's why it's really important, I think, to do a detox. It really just jumpstarts your metabolism, really starts moving things through and lessening this load for the body. Okay. What do we actually, how does the body naturally detox? All right. So, okay, I'll try to make this easy because this can be it can be a little bit difficult. So, like I said, we have phases to our detoxification system in the body. So, phase one is like the first defense line against these chemicals. And we have enzymes in our body that break down these toxins into less toxic substances. Now, again, these newer substances are still toxic to the body, but they are less toxic than the way they enter the body. And so these new byproducts can change our DNA. They can change our proteins. So we still want to get them, we just need to get them out of the body. And let's see, things that go through this process, that things that have to be broken down are birth control pills, prednisone, cortisone, sleeping pills, dioxins, which are environmental, which are in a lot of manufacturing. So things like that, alcohol, caffeine, all of those have to be broken down. And so you've got your phase one, and we call that oxidation. So it's really just breaking that really, really toxic substance down to a little less toxic byproduct. And then phase two is making the toxins water soluble so we can get them out of the body. And we do this through 6 different pathways. And we get these things out of the body mainly through the kidneys, through urine, or through the bile, so the liver and the gallbladder, through poop. You can also get toxins out through breathing, through the lungs, and through sweating. But the main two areas are the kidneys and the liver. And so that's called conjugation. And basically, there's certain foods that are really important for these phases to work correctly. And so these are the foods that we add in to the liver cleanse. Makes sense, right? So in phase one, you want to have lots and lots of foods that have vitamin C in them. So that's like, red peppers. That's like citrus fruits, things like strawberries, cantaloupe. And then you also want foods that have magnesium. And that's things like green veggies, legumes, nuts. Cruciferous veggies are important for both phase one and phase two. So that's like Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, kale, things like that. Milk thistle, which you probably heard of, is an herb that's very, very good for the liver. So that's really important in phase one. Things like dill, citrus fruits. So this phase really needs a lot of good antioxidants. It needs 5 to 7 servings of these things a day. Phase two needs pretty much very similar. Needs fruits and veggies and cruciferous vegetables, really, really important. Green leafy lettuces, things like onions. So the onion family is very important. So onions, garlic, leeks, shallots, and then also things like asparagus and avocado that have some glutathione in them. So one thing that's very interesting is most people have problems with phase two. So they can do phase one pretty well, and then phase two gets sluggish with time. So if you are a caffeine drinker, if you drink alcohol and you still find that you have insomnia, you get brain fog, you might have a lot of hot flashes, that's because your phase two detoxification process is not working as well. So, another great reason to go on the liver cleanse to jumpstart this and get this moving. All right. So, if you have any questions about that process, just leave them in the comments and we can go a little further into that. But that's enough. That's all you need to know. Okay, so what do we eat on this cleanse? Okay, so just remember that this cleanse is your cleanse. I am just guiding you through the cleanse, but we want to take the load off of the liver. So the ideal cleanse is fruits, veggies, um, beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds. And that is what it always has been in the past, but we have added some more foods in. So you can also eat clean protein on this liver cleanse, and that means wild fish, pasture raised chicken, and grass fed beef. You can also eat gluten free grains, such as gluten free oats, millet, and quinoa. And I've added those in because lo and behold, not everybody wants to drink a smoothie in the morning. I love smoothies and I drink them every day. They're super easy. You can pack them with nutrients. So they're great for a cleanse like this. And it's just easier for me to drink a liquid in the morning if I'm not really, really hungry. But there's a lot of people out there just don't want to do that. And if you live in a cold climate, sometimes a smoothie can be too cold for you, even though you can heat up some of the smoothies. We'll talk about that later. But so there's some gluten-free oats, so you can have some warm cereals. There's also a chia seed pudding, also something like a smoked salmon that you can do. So lots of different recipes. There's lots of different salads. There's lots of different soups. There's lots of crock pot or slow cooker recipes. So you can put them in there in the morning and they're done by the end of the day. So you're not doing too much. Okay. And if you have any questions about specific foods, let me tell you what you're not eating. You are not eating dairy. You are not eating eggs. You are not eating processed foods, sugar, anything containing gluten. And I probably left something out. And I really want you to decrease your caffeine, no alcohol. And that first week that we'll talk about as the prep week is when you really decrease your sugar intake and your caffeine so you feel a little bit better during the cleanse. The reason I took eggs out, because I know a lot of people love their eggs and that's what they eat for breakfast, is eggs are very allergenic. Many people are allergic to eggs. I am one. For this 2 weeks. If you love, love, love your eggs, take them out. This is a beautiful experiment for you. And then when you start bringing foods back in, you bring in eggs and you bring them in all by themselves. You eat them. You can eat them for 3 days or you can eat them for 1 day and wait 2 more days without eating anything else new. And you will know if you have a problem with eggs because you will get some sort of reaction where it could be a skin rash, it could be a runny nose, it could be a headache, whatever that is for you. But that's something that we definitely talk about during the cleanse. And I'm there to help you through that phase where you're bringing food back in. So that is why we don't do eggs. Okay. Next, what is lymph? All right. So some of you may never even heard of this before, but lymph is a system in the body. Okay. We have 2 circulatory systems. Now, I know you've heard of the circulatory system that is your lungs, your heart, and all your blood vessels, and that's how we get oxygen to our body. But there's a second circulatory system, and it's called the lymphatic system. And this is truly the trash collectors of the body because what they do is they absorb the toxins and the waste and all the really kind of nasty stuff, and they get it out of the body. But the lymphatic system also absorbs fats and important vitamins and spreads them through the body. So you have to remember that as well. And the organs involved in the lymphatic system are the thymus, which is found right behind your breastbone, the lymph nodes, which are scattered throughout the body, the lymphatic vessels, which is where that's how they move through the vessels, the bone marrow, because that's where a lot of the lymphocytes are made, and the spleen. So, the lymphatic system is very involved in the immune system because all of these organs that I just mentioned make our white blood cells. So, our B lymphocytes, our T cells that kill the bacteria and all the bad things that get into our body. Okay. But the important thing to remember about the lymphatic system is it's not connected to a pump like the heart. If you think about it, our heart just automatically pumps. We don't have to do anything to make that circulatory system work. It just works automatically. But this lymphatic system, we have to move it ourselves. We have to actually put pressure against our muscles and our bones in order for those things to move through the system. And a lot of people don't know about this. And if you are sedentary and you don't do a lot of movement, then I tell you, your lymphatic system isn't doing its job and you're not getting this stuff out of your body and it gets recirculated in your body and it can make you sick. It can get stored in your fat cells and other places. So it's really, really important to get your lymphatic system moving. And that is why we have a prep week for this liver cleanse because we want to start moving your lymphatic system and your digestive system because we need the lymph to move around and we need you to be able to poop it out. So that first week, you're taking two supplements. One is specifically for the lymph, one is specifically for the gallbladder and the bile. So those things are moving to get the toxins out. So we want to go ahead and get that stuff moving before we actually really start moving into the cleanse part. So, how do you move your lymph? Walking is a super easy way. So, any kind of motion, so riding your bike, swimming, running, those all are going to do it. You can do something like bouncing, so like rebounding. If you've ever seen one of those small trampolines where you just bounce up and down, that's a great way. You can actually get a big yoga ball and you can bounce on it. Some people use those as their desk chair and you just bounce up and down. That's great for your lymphatic system. Things like stretching, things like yoga, where you're actually twisting and really moving in different positions, and that pushes things through your body, and massage. And some people are specifically lymphatic massage therapists. And so those are great people to go to because they are really going to help move that stuff through the body. That first week, you will start to take a supplement for your lymph system, but you also will start adding in all of these lifestyle habits. I did leave out skin brushing. Skin brushing is another great way to move lymph through your body. And the gold plan actually includes a dry skin brush. So you're brushing your skin and you're actually causing movement of the lymph back to the center part of the body. Okay, moving on. How will I feel during the cleanse? Wonderful question. I think I get this question all the time from everyone. So, this is very individual. This really depends on your health when you come into the cleanse. So, I can't tell you exactly how you're going to feel, but I can tell you common ways that people feel. I usually always get a dull headache. Most people get some kind of headache usually the second week, and it can be for 3 or 4 days. And again, that's just helping us tell us, how well things are moving through your body. I prefer that you're having at least one bowel movement a day. I prefer 2 or 3 during the cleanse because that's really going to pull things out and get it out of the body so you don't feel badly. The reason you have these symptoms is because these toxins are getting broken down and they're getting pulled out, but they're not actually moving out of the body. So, if that happens, please get in touch with me because we can make sure you're increasing your bowel movements, increasing the supplements that you're taking so you can increase your bowel movements, that type of thing. Increasing your water, very, very important to be drinking enough water so you can move things through your kidneys and move those out with your urine. And that's usually it. Sometimes people are fatigued and they don't necessarily feel like doing a ton of exercise. Perfectly fine. I just recommend a walk. That's part of the daily routine during the full 3 weeks is to do what I call a mindfulness walk. And that, again, is going to help with your lymph. That helps with your mindset. It's an absolutely wonderful thing to do. All righty. Do I have to cook at home during the cleanse? So, very good question. Ideally, Yes. Doing everything at home will give you the best result. Why? Because you know what you're using. You know what you're cooking the food in. You know what you're cooking. You know what foods you're using, and all of those things. If you go out to a restaurant, you don't know what kind of oils they cook in. We don't use things like soybean oil and canola oil and safflower oil on this cleanse, and that's what a lot of restaurants use because of the price. It's just cheaper. So you can certainly eat out, but I recommend going online, finding out what they cook with, what options they have, make sure they have good vegetarian options, or they have wild fish, pasture raised chicken, grass fed beef. And if it doesn't say that grass fed, pasture raised, or wild on the menu, then they aren't those things. Because if they're paying for those things, they will advertise that those things are that way. So, yeah, if you just do a little research, I live out in California. We have tons of restaurants that include all of those things. So, yes, I could easily go out to eat during the cleanse and not have a problem. But yes, I have to do a little bit of research, and I have to ask questions when I order food just to make sure that there's not some dairy. And, if there's cheese on something, you can just remove the cheese, that type of thing. And there's lots and lots of um, fun recipes that you can play around with, and just know that these recipes are for you to do whatever you want to with. So if there's a food in a recipe that you don't like, you can substitute it out. You can do whatever you want to with the recipes. Okay, next question. What if I have a special event in the middle of the cleanse? And you may, because Valentine's Day falls in the middle of this cleanse. You can do whatever you like. Like I said, you can eat out. I would just look at the restaurants, look at the menu before you go, just ask questions, just pick things on the menu that are in the cleanse. That's the easiest way to do it. If you decide that you want to eat things that aren't in the cleanse, perfectly fine. You just may not feel great afterwards. That's going to be the biggest side effect. If you decide to drink some wine or something like that, again, you just might not feel great afterwards, but you can certainly do it. It's your cleanse. You can do whatever you want to. It's your body. All right. What if I'm allergic to foods on the list? Great question. Um, don't eat them. I have lots of allergies. I have lots of food sensitivities. And so if there's something on there that you don't like or you don't do well with, then please don't eat it. So a lot of people don't like beans or they don't do well with beans. Then take the beans out. If it calls for black beans and you do okay with white beans, then if certainly you can substitute a different type of bean in, or you can substitute lentils if you like lentils, or you can take that bean out completely. Now, if you know that there's certain vegetables that cause problems for you, like the nightshade vegetables, like potatoes, tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, then of course, take those out of the recipe. You can substitute anything else in. That's not a problem at all. Again, you can do whatever you want to. You can make your own food. You don't even have to follow the recipes. Because you know what foods are included in the cleanse, you can make whatever you want if you're using those foods. Okay, and now I would love to go over the supplements. So there are 4 different packages that you can purchase for this cleanse. There's a gold package, and that includes everything. So that includes the Cell Core supplements. It includes the Truvani protein powder for your smoothies. It includes a detox essential oil kit from Vibrant Blue Oils, and it includes a dry skin brush. And of course, the membership site with all of the information on it. So that's the gold package. The silver package is the supplements and the protein powder and the membership site without the essential oils or the dry brush. Okay. Then you have the bronze, and that is just the Cell Core supplements and the membership site. And then the basic is just the site. Now, just know with the basic, as with all the others, you will have that site and you will be able to do the detox in the future. and I will just send you a link to order the supplements on your own so you'll have that for the future. Okay. So the Cell Core supplements, if you're interested, I love this company, an amazing company that works with a lot of carbon technology. And there's three different supplements. So that first week, you are using a supplement called Lymph Active that is specifically helping move the lymph through the body. You are also using something called TUDCA, and TUDCA is a bile acid. The liver makes bile and then sends it over to the gallbladder. And then as you eat foods and fats, it shoots the bile out to break down the fats and then move them through the body. So this TUDCA helps with that. So it's going to help you break down the food and actually get the foods out of the body. And it should increase the amount of bowel movements that you have a day. And then the last of those is called KL, kidney liver. So this specific supplement just supports the kidney and the liver during the detoxification process. So you can get the supplements, or excuse me, you can get the toxins out of the body. And the protein powder that I use is called Truvani. It's a really wonderful company that basically sources everything very naturally. It has 5 products in it. It has pea protein, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, vanilla, real vanilla, and then monk fruit. And so it's the cleanest, best tasting protein powder that I've found. So that's a great one to use. And if you don't want to purchase that one or don't want to buy the package with that one and you want to find out about some other protein powders, you can certainly ask me. I've tried most of them on the market, and I can definitely recommend something else for you. So I think that is it. Do we have any other comments? So how long is the actual liver cleanse? So the actual cleanse is 3 weeks long. It starts on Monday, February the 7th. For that first week, you will be decreasing your caffeine. And I have recommendations for you to change your coffee over to a different type of coffee that has less caffeine in it and also contains some antioxidants. If you drink soda or if you drink a lot of orange juice or something with sugar in it, then you will be decreasing the amount throughout the week so your body doesn't go into shock when you all of a sudden stop, because it will just prevent headaches, which can be a problem when you decrease those two things. And then you'll also start the 2 supplements to help you increase your bowel movements and to move the lymph. You will also be increasing or starting new lifestyle habits to move your lymph through. And those are all in the membership site. Then the following 2 weeks are when you're going to be changing your diet. And so that's when you're going to just be taking out those foods we talked about, and you're going to be adding in one more supplement, which is specifically helping the kidney and the liver. And that's when you'll be starting your protein powder as well. All righty. Any other questions? So how do I sign up? So I will put the link for the sign up page below here once I'm done with this. And so you can click on that and it goes over information. And then it has the 4 different options for you. You can choose which one you want to do. You can pay right there and then you're done. And you will receive emails from me. So you'll know everything went through, because you should receive a couple emails right away that say congratulations. And that will give you your username and password for the membership site. So you can go on and take a look at everything. If you're buying one where there's supplements involved, then I will be ordering those for you, and they will be delivered to you over the next probably 5 to 6 days, because everything's taken a little bit longer these days. Okay. And then there's a Facebook group, and then you'll be getting emails regarding all of the Zoom calls. So there's lots and lots of communication. If you have any questions, there's going to be lots of time for you to get those answered. And if you have questions about other things, we talk about ways to decrease toxins in your environment. So, if you have questions about specific toothpaste or shampoo or things like that, all of those things, we discuss that during the process. All right. I hope I've answered all of your questions. I don't see any new questions. If you have anything else, you can always just comment below. All right. I hope you join us. We have so much fun, and it's a great way to jumpstart your metabolism, really clean out your liver, and get things moving. All right. Have a good day. Bye bye.